physics engine breaking everything inside the box. Whoa! Did I die? I really... Am I doing the right thing? Anyway, I'm worried that was going to end it if I click on that. I like rats. I try not to call things rats when in a derogatory way now, because I know there are a lot of rats get a bad rap for their there are a lot of people who enjoy them a lot as pets and friends. So, but I get what you're saying though, in the sense of like they are not like they're kind of weird. I don't know. There's something about them, they're made to be sort of oh no. Like unnaturally, they're not like a normal human shape, and they kind of fit into that weird uncanny valley of like, these are creepy old children kind of thing. Not a massive fan of children, and I'm not an enormous fan of old people, given how so many of them tend to lean conservative, so it's like, Oh, that's an arm. I thought that was a USB stick. Oh no. Yeah, elves, elven weirdness. And, you know, even in a fantasy setting, I'm not a massive fan of elves, and more often than not, I tend to have them as, like, bad guys in my D&D settings because they're so overdone. They're always kind of the aloof and virtuous and all this kind of stuff, but I know that people are kind of... This is the room that didn't make sense. You know, people are kind of going back against those kind of tropes now, and actually there is more diverse fantasy than just this thing that is, you know, like the perfect human kind of thing. That's the thing that got me. Elves are always meant to be like, these are the faultless humans, not only in the sense of how they look, but also in the sense of how they kind of become so, like, to the extreme of being human, to the point where they have ascended humanity and now consider themselves no longer part of it. Which is, yeah, sure. I mean, I would feel that way given a diminishing faith in humanity, but not in the sense of I would consider myself, you know, human. I'd want to be like unhuman, like a monster kind of thing. And I think that's why I had kind of a problem with it in a weird way, because they're not... I don't know, it's weird, because so much of the elven mythos that we kind of get our fantasy from is steeped in that kind of very staid white fantasy of, you know, Tolkien and stuff like that, and they're had a very different, not necessarily, I mean, there's a kind of a privilege in the way that they were portrayed and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm running ahead of my mouth before I can actually think about what I want to say. No, I'm sorry. Twitch has been kind of jumpy lately. It can't be that many more. I have not read Dragonlance. I have had it recommended. But that's not Anne McCaffrey, is it? Oh, I threw it. Wimpy Wiggle. Don't we all like a bit of a wimpy wiggle, eh? Oh, every now and again. Oi, oi, oi. So much green and red. Aussie. That's not Aussie, that's Cockney. I mean, Aussie accent probably devolved from Cockney and sorts of things like that because we... Where? Get in there. Right. Oh, wow, geez. Geothermal heating and solar panels, that's incredible. Oh, I see. Under construction too, wow. Okay, cool. Oh, yeah, fantasy setting, alright. Where am I going? Shaky, shaky, shaky. Make the bells ring. He sounds like it for having all that. I imagine it depends on what part of the country you're in. I could probably install solar panels here. No, these I can't check these in. Can't scan half a corpse. Oops. I think that's all the bodies. Are you going there? Half a bottle. So what do I do with this disposal basket thing? Water load disposal bins. Oh, I see. That would have been cool to do like any time before now. Oh well. Yeah, I think there's night, but there's a few bots that can do it. Oh, there's another USB. Waxy Big Fist. That's a good name. We like Waxy Big Fist. We shall honor Waxy Big Fist. Itchy Fritz Puzzle. That must be nearly all of them now, surely. And we get you. Other streamers have much more professional setups than I do because I was like, I'm gonna put my screen on the computer. Tanky 2 feet. You should have, most people have 2 feet. This is why I don't have a layout. I only worked out how to do stream alerts like a week ago. You know. Thank you. You're doing a better job at promoting me than I am. Knife. No, in the box, please. Thank you. Ah, is that our last USB stick? Who knows? Penny big ears. Come on. Ugh. Yeah, it's maybe sometime. I mean, maybe if I actually posted it myself, which I have so far forgotten to do. I've shared it from you, but I haven't actually like made my own post about it. Yeah, it won't go in. What have I done? Okay. I have been lazy about it because I have kind of not very good at Discord, as you can kind of tell. Yeah, it's coming to get me. Oh, I didn't let go. Crimbus. Yeah. Christmas is kind of, it's one of those things where you like to see certain subversions of the genre, but also it has a very specific warm feeling, and I don't want to get onto other people for not enjoying that feeling. I went to a some friends and I went round. What have I picked up? Some friends and I went around driving around to see some Christmas lights. Whoops. And there were some really cool Christmas things, but there was also kind of a sense of the typical Christmas aesthetic, I feel, can be overdone. I like something a little bit more kind of subtle and, you know, I don't want to say elegant, but, you know, come on. I'm not a big fan of elves and sometimes Santa and stuff like that. So I like some of the displays that are a little bit different. Like someone had orange and purple lights, and I was thinking, oh, it just reminds me of Halloween. And no, don't spill, please. It just made me want to see more Halloween stuff. But I don't necessarily like you know, unnecessarily gory things. Yeah, I mean, I guess there is like it's a trope, isn't it? Of like, if we're gonna overdo the typical Santa aesthetic, then we're really gonna overdo it, you know. I need to get some more knives in here. I feel like in a way, it might almost be cool to just tidy this up in person, because I don't have to scroll with a mouse wheel. Oh yeah, I forgot what I was talking about before. I had some oat nog, and I thought it was really nice because I liked that it was not eggy, and it tasted like horchata. Oh bollocks! Pick up. Turn over. Oat nog. Yeah, it was like oat milk eggnog, so dairy-free eggnog. It was very thick. I could only drink a little bit of it at a time. But it tasted very good. You bastard. Put it down. Nope. These rubber gloves are so thick. I look like Ronald McDonald. They're just covered in stripes. Anything else small over here? Oh god. Everything jumped. I don't want to read it. These are all letters to Santa. They're all gonna go away. I wonder if this is meant to be, the letters are probably supposed to be a commentary on, like, superficiality and stuff like that. I don't have, I don't know that I've had proper eggnog, but I would say that oat nog is a fairly good, like, facsimile of it. Probably. Probably? Crime scene McClarence. Yeah. Okay. Tidy up the workspace a little bit. Ronald McDonald. Forensic cleanup. This is going to make a big difference. Bash, bash, bash. Elvish workers. Alimony horror stories. Contemplative certainty. Are these all what he uses to do, like, naughty and nice? Darwinism. It's a bad sign. Kicking balls. A foot to Balder's Guide. That's... That's kind of uncomfortable. Not sure what to make of that. Yeah, I don't know if that's like I don't know if I should... It's meant to be a subversion or whether it's kind of like a... It's so hard to tell nowadays. You have like a facsimile of Mein Kampf on the bookcase and you're meant to say what... Santa's some kind of Nazi because you know that there are people who have gone on these kind of rages like this, especially fairly recently. And you're like, well... Times of correspondence. Okay, so Santa Claus was anti-union, Nazi, went on a rampage, like, can't bin that one. There we go. Okay, seems like there's a lot going on lore-wise. Maybe this would have been better in like 2013 when things weren't like falling apart so much. Come on. Oh. Just let me get the... Fine. Alright, we'll deal with this. When things get a little bit too real. Krampus. Liking Krampus a little bit more. I have a aversion to Krampus for various reasons, but I like the idea. Stop it. The idea of a horned Christmas demon as an alternative. 2013. What was I doing in 2013? I was here. I was working at Whole Foods. I had moved. I think that was my second year at Whole Foods, the beginning of. Wow, a lot has changed since then. I got my house in 2013. Yep, Whole Foods. That was obviously before it was owned by Amazon. Oh, these are Molotovs. That's going to be interesting to go in the fire. Is there another way of disposing of that? Yeah, I remember that. Sad. It's a telling thing when, you know, the way someone reacts to the own bad reaction of their own humor, like misjudged humor, tells it, how did I start that sentence? I've forgotten. Physics engine breaking everything inside the box. Whoa! Did I die? I died! I exploded and died. That's me on the floor. That mess. Wow. Oh no. Oh no. Oh. I put the dynamite in the fire. That's what happened. Have I got to start again? No, okay. Oh dear, oh dear. I've got to clean up me. That's me. Oh no. Oh well. Hi, Hamsonate. Wow. There's bodies too. That's new. Where did you come from? Oh well. We live, we explode, we die, we live again. I can't remember what I was talking about now. Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about with the Trump photo. I think it always goes back to that if satire requires clarity of purpose. And I think that a lot of these people trying to play games where, this will make this guy look bad, often don't realize that you are often the one who will look bad at the same time. And that if people are telling you that was a mistake, it's probably best to admit that, yeah, it was a mistake, as opposed to trying to double down on it and going, no, 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 you don't understand. Cool. Alright, nobody understood your intent. That's not their problem when it was not clear. So I try to make anything that I create very kind of explicitly, this is what I support, this is what I don't support, to kind of avoid those issues. Spontaneous pangolin. Oh, my head fell out. So bad. Is that a dynamite stick? I don't want to hang around to find out. I think it was just a piece of wood. No, I think I'm a human. Because there were human body parts, and I think it blew up an elf that was on this table that I had not got to yet. Because there is stuff everywhere. I'm assuming I can't use this. Ah, put it down. Bucket. Yeah, exactly. Like, they weren't even... I think it would have been more humiliating. And this is what I think people who are still stuck in the idea of furry being cringe don't kind of get, or like they think that, oh, you know, no one likes us, you know, we've got to be good kind of thing. I think that a lot of people, if they had just been like, hey, look, you're so bad, not even furries like you, I think that would have been more kind of meaningful, more impactful than to try and be like, hey, we're pretending to support you because we're horrible people, when there are literally horrible people, demonstratively horrible people, supporting them, making them look just as bad. That's the dynamite. So, you know, you want someone to look bad and you're a good person, then mock them, and don't make it ambiguous. We've had too much of that to be kind of, what am I trying to say? Have any kind of ambiguity about it. There were some reindeer. They're in the other place. The other place. I mean, they're in a little side bit down here. There were reindeer, and there are now just bits of reindeer and a wall. Some bottles. Yes. Yeah, if you have to explain your joke that deeply, then there is something not very... It is not a great joke. Like, something may have renewed context later, but if that context is always going to have to be something you're going to have to explain, then not only is it your duty to have to keep explaining it and keep denying, you know, keep like accentuating not only what it is you meant, but also why. Yeah, it was very poorly thought out. Oh, I'm never going to grab those. I don't want to have to look through your personal search history for like your entire Twitter account just to find out whether you were joking or not. Can I crouch? See, no. There is no crouch. There is a jump. Where did you go? You went down there. Space, jump. Control. Control, shift. Nope. Q, E, nope. I want that. Let me get it. Let me clean you. Yay! Like, if I made a bad joke, I will own up to the fact that it was a bad joke. I have made some, obviously not jokes that bad. But, you know, I've made some crappy comments and have been brought to task about them and be like, yeah, that's fair. That was crappy. I'm sorry. It was not my intent, but intent doesn't matter. If you've hurt someone, then that is the important bit about it. You have created a situation in which someone else has felt is bad or upset, and it's your duty to fix that. It's not other people's duty to kind of it's not other people's responsibility to to preemptively know what you were supposed to say and then go, oh yeah, you know, you explain it, and sometimes they might be able to go, oh yeah, I see what you're saying, but don't do that again. And your response should be, yeah, okay, fair enough. But some people are too, and it's kind of a structural problem as well, in that we create an environment where apologies are seen as marks of shame as opposed to opportunities to improve, such that people don't want to apologize because they see it as like an eternal branding of permanent badness, which it shouldn't be. We do have a problem with how we treat apologies, but people are also not very good at apologizing sincerely because they want their intent to be controlling their action in a retroactive sense. What is this? Ooh! That's kind of cool. I'll leave that there. Anyway, I'm probably going on about this too much. There's probably like some kind of Twitch word salad kind of thing. This box reminds me of a Cadbury's Flake. I like it. Oh! Can you go down? Santa has made action figures that do not stand up. Oh, that'll do. It's going to be mop time soon. I need another bucket, though. You're a big present. I don't know what to do with you. Yeah. No, there has to be merit to apologies. There has to be you have to, as long as they are actually genuinely sincere, I think that they should be treated well. But the thing is, an apology isn't just it's not a single like, I'm sorry. An apology has to be change. It has to be ongoing, and you know, there are going to be some things you're going to have to continually explain every time it comes up, because there's always going to be a first time that someone sees it. Every time someone sees that for the first time, they are going to be upset, and part of the apology is going to have to be your duty to go, yeah, that was stupid, I'm not that person anymore. But then it's also the duty of people who have seen that there's an apology to understand that it's like, yeah, okay, you don't mean that anymore, and actually kind of stand by that. Make people hold themselves accountable and hold them accountable. Because there are some times when people have made apologies and meaningful change and are still demonized by people who just seem to want to carry on this self-righteous vendetta. And that makes me sad, because there are some genuine people who are actually have made changes, and yeah, not everyone has a racist phase. You know, we don't normalize that crap, but you know, when someone has shown improvement, the improvement is not something that should be shamed for. Yeah, every now and again you get people trying to make weird call-outs from, I don't like this, therefore that thing is problematic. That happens every now and again, but they haven't. I mean, touch wood, that a lot of the abusers have kind of made themselves known, and people are kind of, I don't know, a lot of them are already evident, which is kind of nice. Except there are still some popular people who are always going to be popular just by lieu of the size of their platform. You're too big. Absolutely, yeah. There are some things that are always going to be unforgivable. There are always going to be things that are too hurtful or too uncomfortable, and yeah, you do not have a right, no, you do not have an obligation to let someone into your space that has made you feel that uncomfortable, has made you feel that bad, has hurt you that much. You know, you can curate your spaces in any way you want. Yeah, no, that is absolutely correct. You look too big too. Yeah. And you know, there are other people who go too far the other direction and say, oh, they've said sorry, that's it, leave them alone, and actually they have not done anything meaningful to show that the apology is going to have any weight. There are too many furry YouTubers and people like that who have done horrific stuff and done like the most cursory kind of, I'm going to spend a week off social media, you know, to find myself, and then they just come back like nothing happened, and they never address it again. And then they don't even apologize in a way that is like constructive. It's just like, I'm sorry if you're upset, or I'm sorry that, you know, my joke was taken out of context, blah blah blah. But that kind of goes back to the idea that the apologies actually have to be substantial. It's also, people need to realize that social media, despite being a public platform, does not make it like a public conversation. Like, you may have no stake in something, you cannot accept apologies on behalf of other people and stuff like that. And you see that happen way too often with people who have parasocial relationships with their favorite creators and stuff like that. Something that I have a real problem with is kind of blind defense of people who may not have actually done anything kind of praiseworthy. We're still very much in the mindset that content is sacred over community, and I want to move past that. I think we could be a much better, much stronger fandom and community if we actually did that, you know, had that ethic where it's not about, you know, we don't revere content mindlessly because it's there, that we actually want to support the content because it's made by someone who is good. And also that it is, you know, good content, we're past the point of being so insular and stuck that, you know, we can be picky now, and we can get rid of people who do not really not doing the community any good by being here just out of pure nostalgia value, you know. Yeah, exactly. We're doing fantastic work with that. I think it's really, really good. You know, actually having outside recognition of like, hey, it's the furries. They are, you know, they're anti-fascist. They're, you know, community-driven, union-driven. They're creative. They're, you know, sex positive. They're all these cool things that are like creating positive change in the world, in online spaces and in real ones. So I think we should be pushing more for that, because that is going to be mean more than, you know, trying to get some famous YouTuber or TV show to be like, oh yeah, furry's cool now, because you're just going to get more of the kind of the populist hierarchy that really kind of does damage to a very artistic and diverse community anyway. Like, the reason I like furry is because it is so diverse, and it has all this, you know, these cool, weird, unique personalities that do amazing things. And I think to cheapen it just by wanting to be popular, by gaining the approval of popular people who are not here for the same reasons that we are, is just going to take us back a few steps. Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah. No, like, people have been working on this for years. This is not a new thing, and you know, you are going to get these folks who are, say, new to it and haven't spent the time in spaces that a lot of people, established folk in the fandom, have. You know, driving out these personalities and constantly saying over and over again, this is a problem, this is a problem, we need to act on this problem, and actually finally getting people to pay attention to it. It's very easy for someone to come on the internet and start a crusade that they don't realize people have been working on for, you know, years and years already. But I think that's also, that can be a kind of drawback of the social justice culture, is because, you know, you have to fight for something. Whoops. Or, you know, there is this idea that you must always be fighting for something. And yes, there is a lot to fight for. But don't fight aimlessly. You know, fight for something that looks like a kidney. Oh, I bet that's Rudolph's red nose. How lovely. Don't fight aimlessly. See what other people are already fighting for and support them first, rather than trying to make your own battle and kind of become the main character for it, I guess. Like, you know, there are people who have been... there's a fundraiser shared today for someone who was injured in the protest last year, like a victim of police brutality, that I didn't even know how that injury happened, and now it's like, geez, people are really not only online but actually in person doing so much. You know, there are indigenous furries I know who've been on the front lines against, you know, the pipelines and stuff like that. No one is not doing anything, you often don't see it. You know, there's a big rack of ribs. So can we get this in here now? Yep. Hey, another USB. Next to a bucket of body parts. Maybe I can just lift that whole thing up. Whimsical tiny toes. We had another tiny toes. Come on. Where's the trigger for it? Ooh. Oh, squishy physics effects. This sounds terrible. No, my torso. Oh dear. Yeah, I think I try to expect the best in people, but sometimes it's very obvious. Usually it's very obvious when someone is not. Ah. And, you know, just because someone has an opinion, not in a sense of like, you know, like a creative opinion or like some sort of functional opinion. Like this happened fairly recently. There was this debate about how, oh yeah, I actually posted something about it. Someone who was, you know, hunting around, had this weird crusade to basically turn everyone who liked this particular thing into a intrinsically morally bad person, and that's not how it works. It's more productive to actually, well, I guess to not do that. Yeah, maybe it was Santa's, like, and the reindeer weren't having it, and they're like, actually, reindeer are going to report you to some kind of a North Pole authority, and he was like, well, time to go. We presume that Santa is still not around somewhere.